Here's some evidence that may point towards why France holds all the satellite contracts for the US. Like all the satellite contracts go through the US. Napoleon was French. I'll just read the article. Alien ship in Napoleon's skull. Paris. Scientists examining the remains of Napoleon Bonaparte are deeply puzzled by the discovery of a half-inch long microchip embedded in his skull. They say the mysterious object could be an alien implant, suggesting that the French emperor was once abducted by a UFO. The possible ramifications of this discovery are almost too enormous to comprehend, declared André Dubois, who made the astonishing revelation in a French medical journal. Until now, every indication has been that the victims of alien abduction are ordinary people who play no role in world events. Now we have compelling evidence that extraterrestrials acted in the past to influence human history and may continue to do so. Dr. Dubois made the amazing find while studying Napoleon's exhumed skeleton on a $140,000 grant from the French government. I was hoping to learn whether he suffered from a pituitary disorder that contributed to his small stature, he explained. But instead, the researcher found something far more extraordinary. As I examined the interior of the skull, my hand brushed across a tiny protrusion. I then looked at the area under a magnifying glass and was stunned to find that the object was some kind of super advanced microchip. From the extent of the bone growth around the chip, the expert believes it was implanted when Bonaparte was young. Napoleon vanished from sight for a period of several days in July 1794 when he was 25. He later claimed that he'd been held prisoner during the Thermidorian coup, but no record of that arrest exists. I believe that is when the abduction took place. From that time on, Napoleon's rise was meteoric. By the next year, he had been put in charge of the French army in Italy. Miraculously, he was able to transform starving ragtag troops into a top-notch fighting force to crush the Italians. In 1804, after a string of startling victories, the pint-sized general crowned himself Emperor of France, and his empire soon expanded to include what is now Germany and Austria, as well as Switzerland, Italy, and Denmark. Napoleon used military strategies more than 100 years ahead of his time, said Dubois. Perhaps the implant somehow enhanced his abilities. The implant could also explain Napoleon's famous habit of holding his hand over his heart, he added. It's possible that the device affected the electrical signals from his brain to his heart. By the time of his defeat by the British at Waterloo in 1815, Napoleon had altered the face of Europe. What Western history would have liked had the aliens not... What Western history would have been like had the aliens not intervened, we can only guess, observed Dubois. Thus, we cannot know whether they acted to help mankind or harm us. Very interesting.